Hey, you guys, thanks for being on our Team Fit and Free Zoom. We have a special guest tonight. She's a member of Team Fit and Free, a member of the Fit Party crew, a team within Team Fit and Free. Yeah, they are a party for sure. And her name is Karen Perkins. She is a mom of 3. She is a registered nurse and runs a health clinic in a local school. And she's definitely the person who's like, no, I don't want to do that. I can't do that. I don't want to sell stuff. And her journey's been pretty awesome. I just kind of want to give you what she's done since she's become a coach. And we're going to hear more about this and why this is so pretty shocking as she starts to share her story. She signed up at the end of April and has hit Success Club every month since she started. It's December and she became a Diamond Coach in November. So this happened quickly. In May, she hit Success Club 10. In June, she hit Success Club 20. In July, Success Club 19. In August, Success Club 34. In September, Success Club 14. In October, Success Club 10. November, Success Club 6. She's hit it every single month with some crazy numbers in there. So she sent me that afterwards. I read her answers. And then I was like, hey, can you just give me a little bit more of like the highlight reel kind of thing? And I was like, what? Okay, I never would have guessed that after reading some of the stuff where she shared how she felt at the beginning of this. So I'm just excited for Karen to share her story and some tips along the way. This business is so much about collecting stories because you're a communicator and stories help communication work better, more effectively, faster. So being able to hear stories like this does so much for you. Okay, so Karen, yay, thanks for being on. She is from Rudyard, Michigan, which is up in like the Upper Peninsula.
Almost Canada.
Right. So if she goes in and out, we'll just have her turn off her camera. But yeah, so Karen, can you just start by telling people a little bit, what was Karen like this time last year? You haven't been a coach for long.
No. This time last year, I was about to turn 40, and I was insecure and overweight and depressed and feeling like I had tried everything under the sun and nothing was working for me. And a friend posted something. It wasn't even Carrie. It was somebody else posted, I'm doing the 21-day fix. Who wants to join me? And I was like, okay. And I did the 21-day fix, and I had awesome results, and I have never felt better. And then another friend shared a challenge with me that Carrie was doing, and I did it, and still wasn't a coach. It was the 22-minute hardcore, I think, and I broke my foot partway through, and I was devastated. So I quit doing that, and I did the 21-day ultimate reset, because I didn't want to quit, and I did that and had awesome results. And Carrie was like, you need to coach. And I don't know, at that point, even after doing the reset and stuff, I still wasn't in a coaching thing. I felt awesome, but I didn't have that in me yet. At least I didn't think I did. So yeah, I don't know. I was insecure and miserable.
It's hard to picture, and I think that all of us can kind of have that story. Like when I tell people about how I used to be, they're like, you're joking. I'm like, no, and it still pops out sometimes. You know, it's always that fight within yourself, but like it's hard to picture that, Karen, just a year ago. And I think that it's a good lesson for all of us that someone else posted about the 21-day fix and you did it.
Mm-hmm.
But so often we can think just because, oh, they're doing the 21-day fix, they must have a coach, they must be in a challenge group, they must have already been talked to about coaching. Move on. You know, and like, no, people like so often just get it. Like they might hear you talk about it. So they're like, oh, let me Amazon this. Okay, I'm going to do it. You know, like, you just can't make those kind of assumptions.
No, and the thing for me too was the original person that I signed up with. She's a wonderful woman, and she helped me get going and gave me the motivation in the beginning, but she was not a part of a real happy team. I mean, we all know that there's some good Beachbody coach teams and there's some that aren't as good, and she got wrapped up in one that was all about, you know, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to get Diamond, because her coach wanted more prestige. And so she didn't get the support she needed. So she actually ended up quitting. And she signed up as a coach under me after the fact once I started coaching with Carrie. So I don't know. It's so much more about relationships. And I wish that everybody knew that, because once I figured that out, I don't even really feel like I'm coaching. I'm being people's friends, and I'm getting paid to do that.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Awesome. I love that. She had the pressure to be Diamond, and you went Diamond like 5 months probably because you felt minimal pressure.
Yeah. Carrie has never pushed me that way. She's encouraged me and helped me, but I've never felt like Carrie's going to hate me if I'm not a Diamond.
Right.
Yeah, she's not like that. Even if she tries to be, I just laugh at her.
You had said, you know, that, okay, so I like what you just said at the end there. You were like, you know, it's about relationships, and that's what people just need to realize. So, sorry, let's talk about when you first started coaching and Carrie approached you, and like what your reaction was, and kind of walk us through like, okay, so you signed up in April, but then you hit Success Club in May, and your action was pretty like, so walk us through that.
When I signed up with Carrie as a coach, I can be honest, my number one reason for signing up as a coach was so I could be in all her challenge groups for free. Like, I didn't want to lose that connection to Carrie, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to be a coach, so she stuck with me forever. And that was the biggest part, and then the second part was for the discount. But I think what happened with me was I had already used 3 of their products and been super successful and sincerely loved this stuff. So it was easy for me to share my story, and people had already been watching my journey January, February, March. So when I started coaching in April, they were all like, tell me more about it. So it just was a natural transition. So, you know, I think like sometimes there's people who are like, I want to be a coach right away, but I think it's really important to try the stuff first and to kind of get your feet wet with the products before you try to coach. But I guess some people might do better that way. I don't know.
Yeah, well, Carl Deichler would be like, yes, Karen, thank you. I appreciate that. Like, that is what they are, that's what they want to happen. You know, like, it might not happen as fast as some people want it to happen sometimes, but it is like a really nice organic way, and to create these raving fans. You were a raving fan. So you went from someone who was like, no, I'm never going to like do anything with this besides get a discount, to hitting Success Club quickly. And that's got to be because people watched you. And I think it was interesting. Like, it really makes me think, like, I have challengers who are loving challenges, but I need to encourage them to share that more. Did Carrie encourage you to share that, or did you just naturally do it?
I think it was both. But you know what happened with me too is in my job, I had been running health challenges for my fellow employees at the school. Like, I run the health clinic, but I also do staff wellness. So for the last 5 years, I've been doing like Biggest Loser and Get Fit competitions at school and working with people and encouraging people. I've been doing that for 4 years. So Carrie was like, dude, you're already doing it. Like, get paid to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So I had asked you if you've always believed that you'd be successful, meaning when you first joined, did you think you'd be a diamond coach, a business builder, all that stuff? You kind of touched on this a little bit, but like looking back on this, like when you started, what did you think? Kind of what was it that started to change your thinking as well?
When I started, I set the bar really low because I didn't want to let myself down and I didn't want to be discouraged. So I was like, I didn't even care about Emerald, Diamond. I didn't even ask people about it until all of a sudden I hit Emerald and Carrie was like, woohoo, you hit Emerald. And then when I saw how natural it was happening for me and how relatively easy it was, then I became more interested in it. And the process. Like I even remember asking Carrie, you know, what does an emerald mean? What did I do? What is this? Or, you know, stuff like that. And it happened before I understood what I was doing. So I just think, I don't know. I don't know what I think.
I don't think you overthought it.
Right. I didn't make it like about selling stuff. And Carrie did tell me that. She's like, because I told her, I'm like, I don't want to sell stuff. She's like, you're not selling stuff. You're helping people. You're already helping people. Just keep doing what you're doing. And Facebook was already something that I did. So I was just being a little bit more intentional about my posting. And it did happen really natural. So I don't know.
So I love that. Like you just focused on helping people, which is what we should really, and I find that easy. Like when I think about like, if they hate it and they're miserable, it's like, let me help you get all your money back. Like we can do that, you know, like, so just promise them. And like, if they show up, it will happen. And just keeping it simple. So obviously every person who comes into this business will have some different path, some different way, something different that ignites them. Maybe they love 101 and they're like, heck yeah, let's do it. How do I get to Emerald? You know? But sometimes people do come in and it's just kind of like, just show them 5 feet in front of their comfort zone. And I think
that was me.
Yeah, that's what Carrie did. She's like, talk to her about Emerald or team volume bonuses or all this stuff she could do. Like she just needs to talk to people. So like I always wonder, I'm like, what? Okay. So like you became Emerald without even knowing what Emerald is. I need to understand that more. And I think people are probably like, huh? But like kind of walk us through, like, how did you start hitting Success Club? Like literally, how did the logistics of these transactions go down?
That was bizarre. I don't even know. Like May, that was my first month, and I already had a few people like, what do you do? And you look awesome. And I was like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Join me. Try it out. And I even told them, if you hate it, you can get your money back. I believe in it. I've done it. I know it works. And I don't know. I had like 5 people I helped that month. And then the next month, June was the only month I stressed out because I was actually out of the country for like 21 days, like 3 weeks with very limited internet. And at the very end of June, I remember I got like random internet access in my camper and I messaged as many people as I could. And Emily was one of them, actually, Emily that's on the Zoom. And I'm like, I was all excited and there was a challenge group. And that's when I realized how important the personal invites were. Just sending a personal message to, I probably sent it maybe that time like 20 or 30 people, and it just kept growing. It just got easier and easier. The first few times I tried to talk to people, I would ask them a question, or I'd talk to them and they'd ask me a question and I'd be like, oh my God, what do I say? So I'd message Carrie and I'd say, how do I answer this question? And then it gets easier. But Success Club, I never worried about it. My goal was always Success Club 5. And that's still my goal. Like, I just always want to make sure I hit Success Club 5. And I don't stress about it. It just kind of happens. And there's some months I always laugh because Carrie's like, oh, we got 2 hours left in December. I got to hit Success Club 10. And there's been a couple of times I'm doing that, like on the last day. And it always works out. I don't know. But I have fun with it. And I talk a lot to people. And I don't know. I just have fun. That's why I'm on Carrie's crew, because we're fun.
That is a good word to describe the Fit Party crew. Okay, so 2 things there, like a lot of awesome stuff there, but some stuff like just learning, because like all of you on here, a lot of you have coaches on your team or are probably on your way. Like you got to build your coach's confidence, however that might be. And that is like hand-holding at first. And I love that you were like, Carrie, I don't know what to say back. And like to just be able to like write it for someone and explain this is why I said these things helps them like learn that. So that's awesome that you do that and that ups your confidence quick. But you got to believe, the other thing is like, you got to believe in this business, this company, what they make works. And when you do that, easy to talk about it.
Right.
And you have to believe in yourself. So like you had that. You obviously done the 21-day fix. You did hardcore. You did the ultimate reset. You know, you're like, all this stuff is legit and awesome. Like you're just sharing, like, this is what finally changed it. I was 40 and really unhappy, and now I feel fit and younger. But then I think, Karen, would you say you're someone, even though you might not have been happy in your life, you had a confidence in your ability to help people and lead them in this kind of like bettering themselves kind of way?
When I started?
Yeah, just like with your role, like as a health, like as a nurse already, like, do you think that like helped give you that confidence in yourself to like just share that information with them?
I don't know. I think it was there, but I still wasn't super confident. I mean, even when Carrie and Christina approached me, I still didn't think I could do it. I kind of humored them and signed up as a discount coach. And until it actually started happening for me, I didn't believe I could do it. Even though I have experience helping people every day. I never thought I could do it.
That wasn't the answer I expected, but I still love that answer. And Carrie's like, I knew it was there. And how often do we see that in people that they don't see themselves?
Mm-hmm.
But it also lets you know, look, yeah, you do need those two things to really make it in this and stick with it. But if you just are a raving fan, like that's enough to get you started. Because that's exactly where Karen started. So it's kind of cool. Yay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me switch to my next page here. So what did you do you were talking to people about what you did, and they were like, okay, let me do this group. And I love that you're out of the country and just like, I'm just going to give it my all when I can. And like, wow, you made some stuff happen. And I love that you look at the end of the month as, we're just going to make this fun. Who cares? Let's see what happens. And go for it. Instead of like, oh my gosh, pressure, like just trusting in your ability. But I mean, getting to Emerald, like what was that conversation when you're like signing up a couple of coaches for the first time?
That's funny too, because I didn't even, to get Emerald, I didn't even sign my husband up. Like that was after the fact. Like a lot of people sign their spouse up and then somebody else. I don't even really know how it happened. There were challengers who, like me, liked the products and they wanted the discount. And then one of them, which is Emily, who's on here tonight, and she's awesome. She actually signed up and she's coaching and she's working really hard. But then I ended up signing up my daughter, and she and Emily were the ones that made me Emerald. And then it just kept happening after that. Like people just kept coming. I don't even know. Like I wish I could tell you a magic formula, but I think I've just been blessed with the ability to talk to people and people trust me. And I think that I'm very fortunate in that, because people, I'm sure there's still people who are like, oh, what's she trying to sell me? Like whatever. And I'm over that. Like if they're negative, they're going to be negative. But I just think that I'm fortunate enough that I live in a small community and people know me. And the coolest thing out of all is that I'm about to hit my 1-year anniversary of starting all of this, and I've kept all the weight off. So all the naysayers who were like, oh yeah, it's just a gimmick. Well, guess what? It's been a year and I'm still here in your face. So it's not a gimmick, and I think that's, I've told Emily that before when she struggled. I think negative people are waiting for you to fail and waiting for you to give up. So I had somebody, I don't know, it was a couple months ago, that's been watching me since last January, and I didn't even message them. They sought me out. And so there's people that are watching you and kind of applauding you, but there's also people who are watching you hoping that you're going to fail so they can say, I told you so. And you just have to learn that it doesn't matter and just keep pushing. So I start rambling and then I forget what the question was.
Oh, I was thinking the word preach it, not ramble. I was thinking when you were saying this about a quote that I love is be worried less about who you might offend, be worried less about who might be wanting you to fail, and worry more about who you might inspire.
I agree. I had somebody, this was funny, I actually had a challenger who I found out she signed up with me to help her and then was making fun of me behind my back. And I found out from a good friend, and she was like, I just want you to know that she was making fun of you in the hallway for that video you posted. And at first I was hurt. And I thought, you know what? Screw you. Like, if I'm helping one person, you go ahead and laugh at me because and it hurt, but I moved past it really quick, where the old me would have quit. I would have been embarrassed and I would have thrown in the towel and I'd have been done. And now it's not like that anymore. So,
I mean, that's something like keeping off all the weight and like, this is your lifestyle now is a huge pride thing, but so is that.
Yeah.
To like have that.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Babe.
We can relate. Oh, I love it. There's like a bear hanging in the background.
Yeah.
My husband.
It's real.
Oh, I had no doubt. Yes. My husband had one too. We had to finally get rid of it because his dog, it was like losing its fur. Anyways.
Oh.
I like how you said trust. I think that's huge. I think that there's a lot of ways to build trust. Karen's done a lot of it probably face-to-face with a lot of these people. Mm-hmm. And then also, like, even if you have this face-to-face connection, like that connecting on Facebook or through Messenger, through text is important too. And like them even seeing what you share, like you putting posts out there that are vulnerable with what you're willing to share builds some serious trust with people. You know, I feel like a lot of times if I work with people, they try, like it's easy for me to tell them what I think they should have and they trust me. So they don't really argue.
Right.
And it is just because like, I think I share a lot of vulnerable stuff that sometimes people are like, oh, I can't believe you shared that. But at the same time, it like builds trust.
True.
So, okay. It's like been 2 weeks and now you're this Emerald coach with Success Club 10 and this growing team. So what did you do to like, okay, I have to see myself differently in this? Like, what did you do to kind of step into this more leader role?
It kind of freaked me out. Like I liked being comfortable. That's the word. Like Carrie knows. I liked being comfortable. I didn't like being challenged too much. Like the Success Club stuff was easy and I was cool with that, coaching challengers. But when I had to coach coaches, it kind of freaked me out. And it's still a work in progress. Like I'm busy. I work full time. I have a family. I have kids. And making the time has probably been the biggest challenge, but I do the best that I can. And that was not a natural thing for me, coaching coaches. But it's getting better. And it's different because they were asking me the same stuff that I asked Carrie, and I felt like I was still a baby. And I'm like, I don't know. Let me ask Carrie and I'll get back to you. So yeah, I felt like I was new enough at it that it scared me that other people were wanting me to lead them. So I don't know, it was scary.
It's like having kids, you know.
Right. A lot of kids.
Yeah, well, you're responsible. And if you're a good coach, you care what happens to that person.
Right.
If you haven't touched base with them in a while, they might not even care or realize, but you're like, oh my gosh, I feel so horrible. You know, like.
Well, in Emily, who's on here tonight, she is a lot like me. Like, and maybe I'm just assuming, but when Carrie reaches out to me and Carrie checks in on me, I like that. And I need that, even if it's like 30 seconds, like, hey, what's up? And I was really glad because I don't know if it was a couple months ago or so, I knew I wasn't giving Emily what she needed, and I apologized to her, and she was like, you know, I get it. I know you're busy. It's okay. But she acknowledged in a kind way that I wasn't doing what I should be doing. I mean, you know what I mean? She kind of which I needed. Like, I needed her to tell me, yeah, I haven't heard from you in a while, but we'll work on that together. And I needed to hear that from her. So I'm glad she said it. So I don't know.
No, that's awesome. You gotta talk straight both ways in order for it to work. Looking at a lot of my coaches on here, I'm like, yep, we've talked straight about some stuff sometimes. Like, you just gotta have two-way communication, because you have to be meaningful. You have to be genuine when you're helping someone grow as a coach. But if they're not ever following through, or they're just whatever, or they're not taking what you think seriously, it's never going to work.
Right.
Like that trust. So what is it like now for you? You have a team of coaches. You're this diamond level coach. How did you, it is scary to become a leader. I think we could all agree, but it's also incredibly rewarding. Like, how have you kind of embraced it more? What are some things you've done to become a better leader?
Just trying to be more organized. It's hard with Emily because her and my schedules don't mesh super well, but we just recently have started Zooming, just her and I, on Wednesday nights.
Awesome.
Just so we can have the one-on-one stuff, which is really helpful. And then one of my other active coaches, our kids are in swimming together. So we decided we're going to meet while their kids are in swimming. And that's 4 days a week. And we sit in my office and pound it out.
Nice.
I think just trying to, because I've got a lot of coaches, but a lot of them are discount coaches. They have no interest in growing their business, and that's cool. So I think once a week I'll shoot them a message, just checking in. How are you doing? Anything I can help you with. But then the ones who are really trying to grow their business, just being intentional, and trying to communicate more and reach out and just be a friend too, because I want that relationship. I don't just want to be their upline coach.
Yeah. So. Oh yeah, for sure. I can totally relate to that. I think a lot of people can, and I think there's a lot of friends on here.
Even if you didn't start that way, you end up that way.
Yeah. I know. Isn't that cool? There's some of my coaches I forget I've never met in person.
Yeah.
Because you just have that friendship. You mentioned in your answers, PD helps me tremendously. I know when I skip my PD, I feel it in all areas of my life. I'd love for you to talk a little bit about that. I'm assuming a year ago, did you even know what PD was? Did you do it? Okay.
No.
So what have you done? What have you read? How has it helped?
I struggle with that because I'm kind of like ADD when I'm reading. I'll get into a book and read half of it and then get bored and skip around. My favorite one was The Compound Effect, and I've used that with Emily. I love PD. I love The Compound Effect. Carrie just bought me the Wow book, and that's probably my all-time favorite because it's short. It's every day. It's just little snippets, and they're all wow, right? The title for the book. But no, I just think, and then I try to do Darren daily, quick stuff, because I don't have time to sit down and read for half an hour. I don't have time to do it. So yeah, I don't know. I did not ever do PD before. And I'm glad I read The Compound Effect because it helps me understand, that's been one of my coaching struggles. This happened, I don't want to say easy, but it's been relatively easy for me. So it's hard for me, Emily works her tail off and she's not growing in the same pattern that I grew. So it's hard for me to help her because I didn't go through that. So, being able to explain to her that you just got to keep pushing, you got to keep pushing. People are watching you. Something you do today is going to affect you 6 months from now. I never would have thought of it that way if I hadn't read that book. Never. So I think, yeah, The Compound Effect and the Wow book are awesome. And when I don't do my PD, I get really moody and really cranky. It's bizarre. And then I'll read 2 pages in that Wow book and I'm like, Mary frickin' Poppins.
I think we can all relate to that. We need t-shirts that, how they have those t-shirts coffee first, it's PD.
Right. It's the truth.
Oh my God, I want to make that. Okay, I have so many Post-its. So yeah, I mean, it is hard sometimes when you go through it. Perfect, Carrie. When you go through it a little bit differently, but that compound effect, and like, seriously, guys, like, I didn't even read the book, The Compound Effect, but looking like, okay, so I have like Jessica's, Amanda, Ashley, Carrie. They're all personally sponsored coaches of mine. Like Amanda first met like 3 years ago. She didn't actually sign up with me or do anything until 3 years later. Ashley met through a Facebook ad that I ran, went MIA after being like, I need to do this. Gone for months. But I kept posting, I kept sharing, and then she came back and was like, I am ready. Jessica, like, knew her from dance team, reconnected on Facebook, signed up in college, MIA for a while, finishing college, and then all of a sudden, like, I think I want to do this now. And Carrie, like, met her when I was 16, reconnected through Facebook, did a challenge, dropped out halfway through to T25, and then all of a sudden just called me out of the blue one day and said, I want to do what you do, because she kept seeing me on Facebook. Like, those are 4 successful coaches on my team. Like, I think you guys can all relate to that. Like, you just don't know. The compound effect of what you do each day is really powerful.
Right. That's the thing, too. It takes time. You have to be consistent. And that was one of the other things that I thought of, is that's why the relationship part is so important. Like, yeah, when people message me and are like, oh, I want more information. Yeah, I want to be like, oh my gosh, you need to buy the challenge pack. It's $140 and this is what you need to do. Because you want to make that sale like right then. But it's not about that. Like, it might be a week or a month until you get them to where they're going to buy the challenge pack and actually follow through and stick with it. I mean, you might get them to buy the challenge pack the other way too, but they're not going to, I think, have the success they would if you don't have that relationship first. I don't know.
If they can't write you back when you ask them, like, yes, like, tell me about your health and fitness right now. I want to help you. Like, fill me in. If they can't write you back on that, like, they're not going to hit play, you know? It is so important, and it's like pumping the brakes and like truly serving. Hey, you wrote in your answers, Karen, I've learned to apologize and take constructive criticism. This has been huge for me. Can you like elaborate more on that? Like, it's interesting.
In all areas of my life, not even just, I'm a totally different person. It's not just the coaching thing. I'm a better friend. I'm a better mom. I'm a better wife. Yeah, I still get moody, but yeah, it's just different. And even the thing, like I was telling you that story with Emily, where she in a very gentle way said, yeah, you know what? I have been needing you and you haven't been here. It's okay. And I'm like, no, it's not okay. And it didn't hurt my feelings, but it was a good check. And I remember one time when I was like baby brand new, I did a post and I used a stock, remember this, Carrie? I used a stock photo for, I don't know if it was T25 or size. No, it was size. I used a stock photo and Carrie sends me this cute little message. Just want you to know things will work much better if you use a personal picture. And it didn't hurt my feelings, but before I would have been like, oh my gosh, I quit. I can't do this. Carrie hates me. I suck. So just in general, I don't know. I think when you start to grow and you get more confident, when people say things, you don't take it to heart. But it's in every area of my life, my job, my family, everything. And probably part of that is the personal development. And I think part of it is because I don't feel like crap all the time. I'm sleeping better, and I don't know. It's just awesome. Everybody should do it. That's my commercial. Done. Good night.
Yeah, you can't help, like, every time you answer something, Karen, it's like you can't help to actually say, but like, how much I've changed. How much.
Right.
Like, you're in a dark room right now, but I can see like the light coming out of you. Like, your eyes are just like.
The room's not dark. Something's wrong with my camera.
Oh, whatever. The light is coming through. Like, it's your eyes. And I think that being willing to like be open to ways you could grow is huge. And that's what that is. It's not just taking criticism better. It's being open to ways you can grow and not feeling bad about it. Like, I don't feel bad saying I go to couples counseling because it's personal development. Oh my gosh. It's like I have a freaking tutor reading those books to me. Like,
I love that post, by the way. That was awesome.
It's amazing because I'm like, this is personal development. Like, on crack. I don't have to read a book and try and like focus. But like, just, it's like different when you get to that realm that it's like, hey, great opportunity to grow, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's what coaching is. It's not being perfect. It's just never giving up, and it's being willing to always be a better you.
I think coaching is being sure that you tell people you're not perfect. Like, not just not being perfect. You need to tell people, I'm not perfect. I remember I posted something on my Facebook wall about how I had eaten like pizza and cake, or I forget something, and I kind of made a joke about it, and I said coaches are human too. And I had like 4 people come up to me at work, and they were like, thank God, we thought you only ate celery and carrots. And I'm like, no, like, I eat real food and you can too, you know. But if I hadn't posted that, people are scared of the Beachbody stuff because they think you drink shakes and water and eat vegetables. You know, and if you don't tell them, they're not going to know.
Right. I love that. Like, how often, and something I think it's like all in the communication, like you'll see someone who might be a coach, or like maybe it's one of your downline coaches, and they post something on Facebook and it's like beers or pizza, but it's just kind of like workout, healthy food, workout, kid picture, workout, beer. And it just like pops out of nowhere. But it's just like Friday night with the girls or something like that. But having a, like, you know, more of a story, like, I'm not perfect all the time.
Being a real person, right?
Yeah, I'm more perfect than I used to be. Like, I can still go out and cut loose on a Friday night. You know, I'm probably going to have some fried fish along with my beer. But tomorrow it's game on. This is an everyday thing. Like, having that be more of a post than just like, hey, it's Friday night, yay. You know, like, communicating that, because then that does seem weird, and I think it can affect credibility sometimes if you don't go the extra degree.
Mm-hmm.
So it's helping your coaches understand that too. Like, it's a magazine. Like, you're telling a nonstop story on your Facebook page. Anything else you want to say on that?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm going to skip a couple questions here because there's so much other stuff that I wanted to get to. But, you know, what do you say now to like a newer coach coming onto the team? Like, you know, like, what would you say to kind of like light their spark or get them excited?
That you can do it. And I put in my question, I think I said the only limit that I had was the ones I was setting on myself. And it was all in my mind. Like, there's that quote that says, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Mm-hmm. And because I started out thinking I can't do it, like, that was true. I couldn't until I realized that I could. So I think, you know, all the new coaches starting out need to know that anything is possible. And they're going to get into it, they're going to get out of it, whatever they put into it, as long as they're consistent. It might not happen overnight, but it will happen. And it's awesome when it happens.
Yeah. Feels good.
It's not easy, but you just have to show up every day. And I say that, but I also want them to know they don't have to be perfect. Like, since April, there's been times I've fallen off the planet where I get in a funk and I'm like, frick this, I'm not posting on Facebook. I might go 2 or 3 days and disappear, but I don't quit. I come back. You know, I mean, there's been times where I get in a mood and I don't work out for 2 weeks and I feel puffy and sick. And then all of a sudden I'm like, what am I doing? And you get back at it. So it's not failure unless you quit. So as long as they keep pushing and keep going, they're going to get there. And with this, like, this is like nothing I've ever done before. There's so much support and so much help that if you want to succeed, it's right there for you. And all the tools are there and all the support is there. If you want it, you can have it.
Yeah. Heck yeah. I would add, if you believe you can have it.
Right.
Like it is, and you said, well, like sometimes I hear, why not you? Like, don't let that just be a phrase. Why not you?
Right.
Like, Karen just told you where she was a year ago, like the opposite of what she was now. Like the old her would have been like, hell no, you'll never be that person. You know, like I never would have thought I would be a successful person making more than $40,000 a year. Like I just hoped to make $40,000 a year. I was like, please. Like, you know, you just have to allow yourself to actually believe, why not me?
Yep.
It has to be, yeah, you have to legitimately believe it. What advice do you have? Okay, well, I think you've already said this. Like, the next question was the advice you have for helping people hit Success Club consistently. And, I mean, so I guess more of like, hey, we get it. Every day is not the same. And I think we can all relate to that with Beachbody sometimes, especially when you work full-time and you have kids. But what do you consistently do in your business?
Almost consistently is the personal development. I'm not going to say I've done that every day because I already told you when I miss it, I can tell. But the personal development is huge. Be a product of the product. If you're not using the products and loving the products and showing people a picture of you and what it has done for you, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, they're not going to want to try it unless they see a real person that it's helping. Mm-hmm. And then to me, the biggest thing for Success Club has been personal invites. I do my event pages. I share, on my Facebook page, hey, join me. It's challenge group. And I might get like 1 or 2 hits off that. But almost every single challenge pack that I've helped somebody with has been based off of a personal text message or Facebook message. Inviting them, telling them about my journey, inviting them to join me, asking them, about their health, whatever. Almost every single one has been off of a personal message.
That is good to know. And I do think personal messages are where it's at. And a lot of people don't want to put the time in there, but that's the stuff that creates change in your business and change in people's lives. Karen, off the top of your head, I'm sure all of these are different. It's not like a script solves every single problem. Okay, smile. I was like, what is that?
Carrie's creeping. She's stalking me.
Oh, that's funny. But give us a quick idea. Like, say it's a situation where it's someone like, oh, I would just love to have them in a group. And there hasn't necessarily been something that's ignited a reason for you to start this conversation. How would you start it? Just off the top of your head.
I Facebook stalk them first and I go to their page and kind of see what's going on in their life. And then I'll say like, hey, I loved the picture of you and your kids. You guys look like you're doing awesome. And then I talk to them a little bit. And then I might say, we haven't talked in a while, but I just want to tell you a little bit about what's going on with me. And I'll tell them, I don't even know, like just different things about my fitness or, a year ago or 7 months ago, I tried this program and a bunch of us are going to do it again. What are your fitness goals? Is this something you'd like more information? It just depends on the person. Like I had a friend from high school that I graduated in 1994. So was that like, holy crap, 22 years ago. Anyway.
Carrie's reaction, sorry.
And I happened to be scrolling through my newsfeed and she had a post, which I try not to waste a lot of time on Facebook, but sometimes it helps. Mm-hmm. She had a post about how, yay, 6 months smoke free. Now I just have to work on some weight loss. And I was like, oh, so I shot her the message, and we just started talking about it, and I said, yeah, I said, I really struggled too. I said, but I've actually found something that really has worked for me. Do you want more information? And she's now one of my challengers, and she's been with me for, I don't know, like 3 or 4 months. So it depends on the person.
And now I'm just curious, is she losing weight?
Yes. Yeah, she is. And she's still smoke free.
That's freaking awesome. I mean, I love all this business stuff, but that's the stuff I'm like, wait, tell me more, like, about her journey. Like, if that's the stuff that gets you really excited in this, like, you should never feel bad about sending a message.
No, I don't feel bad about sending the messages, and they work. Like, I mean, I might send 40 messages and maybe get 10 people that are excited or respond or whatever, but that's 10 people that I'm helping.
Right.
Even if there was 1 out of 40, that's 1.
And you're planting some serious seeds for these other people. Like,
I had my neighbor lady, she's really crabby and really, she scares me. Like, I'm kind of scared of her, and we don't hardly ever talk. And I made a post. It was just a positive post. There was like the sunset, and I said something about be kind to people. You never know what their struggles are or something. And she commented on it, and she goes, thank you so much. You have no idea what your positive posts mean to me. And I'm like, I'm scared of you. Like, you never talk to me. It was just nuts. And I thought, if I'm getting through to her, like, I don't know. That's why I say you just got to keep being you and keep posting, because you don't ever know who you're reaching.
Oh, seriously. You just never know. And that's something else to put in the accomplishment box for sure.
Yep.
Whatever. I feel like I can tell a story about all of them, but I'm not going to. You kind of touched on it a little bit, Karen, and kind of like last thing here is obviously this has not been like this. People just flock to me. Oh my gosh. Yo, you want to be a Success Club member? Like, there's definitely been frustrations at time. How have you dealt with them?
I don't know. Like, sometimes I get in the land of overwhelm and I pull the covers over my head and I disappear for a couple days until I calm down. Like, seriously, like, sometimes I just need to take a break and regroup. But I always figure out that, and I've told Emily this before, because we both get like that. And I'm like, dude, sit down for 20 minutes. Let's send out some messages. Just get back in it and it'll be fine. And once you do that, you're not overwhelmed anymore and things look brighter, and it's just getting organized. And that's where I really struggle, because I am so freaking busy, especially now that I'm doing that country heat stuff. I got to get in my practice because I got to know what I'm doing. And
I haven't mentioned that yet. Yeah, with overwhelm, I mean, I think we all obviously feel it, and we're choosing our hard. Like, we're choosing to do more so we can have more freedom, more opportunity, more impact, more fulfillment. Like, you know, I think we've all made the choice, like, this is worth it, you know? But the overwhelm so often can come from just not living in the now, thinking about everything that has to happen in the future. And when it's like just kind of putting, and one of the things that when I was out at the Beaver Creek retreat was, you know, we talk about blinders and like, don't look at other coaches, like just do your thing, but blinders to all the stuff you have going on in your life as well. Like, just put my blinders on for 20 minutes. I'm just going to send messages and not worry about all this other stuff that needs to happen.
That's huge.
Yeah. Like the blinders to like what happened, you know, when you're looking at everything you have to do, you just freeze.
Yeah. The whole other coaches thing too is huge. Mm-hmm. And I've told, Andrea is my success partner, and her and I have talked about that sometimes you just have to unfollow people, because if it's stressing you out that one of these other coaches is a diamond and you're not there yet, then quit watching what they're doing. And I struggled with that a lot. Because once I hit emerald, then I wanted more, because other people were like, or, you know, woohoo, she's a diamond. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to be a diamond. And yeah, that you can't do that. It's too much. I mean, it's cool to get ideas from people, but yeah, I don't know. You have to focus. And like you said, the whole blinders thing, just take 15, 20 minutes and do your thing. And yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Put it out there. Try and like just compartmentalizing all that stuff so you can give it your all and what you're doing, move on to the next. Like 20 minutes of giving it your all here is better than an hour of like trying to do it while you're overwhelmed. The blinders, like it reminds me like of, I don't hate these people, but I always want to say I hate these people. The people who can have ice cream in their house and not eat it for like a week. Oh, I forgot it was.
That's not me. No.
Yeah, like there's those. That's my husband. Like he's just like, you ate the ice cream. I'm like, yeah, it's been in the house for 24 hours. Like this is why we don't have ice cream in the house. Like, but that's what I feel like. You just have to have the willpower to say like hide, like, or else all of a sudden you're like there. You know, you have to like, if you're just one of those people, like if it's there, it's gonna distract you. You just have to get rid of it. You know, like. Yeah. That makes sense. Like that's reminding me of. I'm like, that's me. I just have to.
One other thing for new coaches too is power hours. I did power hours all the time in the beginning. Now I do my own. Like it's more like a power 20 minutes, but the power hours are huge because I needed that person, which Amanda was my power hours more than once. But that person telling me, okay, add people for 5 minutes, do this for 10 minutes. I needed that. So for new coaches, I highly recommend power hours.
That's awesome. Yeah, a lot can happen. So I want to just end here. I asked Karen to compare where she was before she joined to be a coach and where she is now, kind of in like a side-to-side comparison. And she actually made this awesome little chart. I know.
I'm a nerd.
No, it was like, this was really powerful. So I just want to read it. So, you know, then depressed, now joyful, then negative, now positive, then discouraged, now inspired, then tired, now energetic, then crabby wife and mom, now patient, loving wife and mom, lazy, now committed. I love this one. Then she was full of excuses, now she's full of why. I just like stopped when you wrote that. I've never heard that way. And I was like, that's like beautiful and like goosebumpy and that's me too. Like, I love that, you know? Oh, full of excuses. Now she's full of why. 40 and feeling 80. Now she's 40 and feeling 20. That's just awesome. Insecure. Now she's confident. 30 pounds overweight. Now healthy and 10 pounds away from her goal. Weak. Now strong. I love this. Dancing in the back row at Carrie's exercise class to now certified to teach her own fitness class with country feet. That's awesome. There's so many things to celebrate. Watching a lot of TV and playing games on phone to now playing with and reading to my son. Accepting that I was always going to feel sick and tired to now not being sick in almost a year. These are all like amazing Facebook posts, by the way. Feeling miserable and going through the motions, just getting by to now living life and teaching others how to do the same thing. Yeah, that's like 12 amazing Facebook posts. I think I'm gonna copy this and put this underneath the recording for tonight. Like, what's your favorite one? Like, which one relates to you? Sorry, Karen, I'm putting your answers out there for everyone.
It's okay.
Okay. Like, it's like beautifully written and evokes emotion for something that we could all probably relate to.
Yep.
Yay. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. And everyone's got a different story in this. And yeah, I mean, hopefully you take something away. You just never know. Sometimes you hear the same thing over and over again. It's because of the way Karen said it, or because of what happened to you in your day and you heard it today that makes that impact. So, Karen, any other final thoughts before we go?
No, I'm just really grateful that this happened to me. And if it weren't for Carrie, it wouldn't have happened to me or Emily because I wouldn't have done it and I wouldn't have helped Emily. So it's just such a trickle effect. Yes. And Carrie can attest because about the whole being consistent thing, because we have a friend, Desiree, who for probably a year was like, I'm not doing that stuff. I'm not doing this stuff. And Carrie's like, Karen, be patient. And guess who's one of my coaches now? Desiree. So anyway, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I love the trickle down effect. I love how many people we are all helping. And I don't know. I think it's awesome. And this is so much bigger and cooler than people understand, really.
Yeah. And like, no matter what, like, think about who cares. Like, maybe that person will never be a Diamond coach, but they might have these kind of transformations Karen did. Like, the teams might fuel that for them, this community, the commitment. Like, you can't judge. You just have to see the possibility and let it grow. And, like, give that person the boost they need to actually take that step. So you just never know where someone's going to end up. Thank you guys for being on. Karen, thank you so much for making
Thanks, guys. Good night.
That was so awesome. All right, everyone. Have an awesome night. I'll post this recording soon.